How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the LAIR. And today I have some jank for you. We're going to be playing this in just the regular play mode. I don't know how competitive it'll be. It's mainly just for the memes, but I call this Sanctum of All. This is a deck I've been wanting to put together ever since the last Historic Anthology released the Hondens back into the format, and then with the latest 2021 CORESET, they introduced some more shrines, in particular one in special that kind of ties this deck together. But anyways, let's get into it. On to the 1-drops. I have Sanctum of Tranquil Light. It's a legendary enchantment shrine. We can activate its ability and tap target creature. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each shrine you control. On to the 2-drops, I have 1 copy of Sanctum of Stone Fangs, also a legendary enchantment shrine. It says at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. We have the full playset of Nessian Wanderer. He's a 1/3. He's a 1/3 with Constellation. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top 3 cards of your library, and you may reveal a land card from among them and put that card into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So he helps us dig for any land, which is crucial in this because we're playing 5 colors. So it's already a little bit ridiculous, but he helps it kind of smooth things out. On to the 3-drops, I'm running the full playset of Banishing Light. It's an enchantment. When Banishing Light enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. 3 copies of Idyllic Tutor. It's a sorcery. Search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. 1 copy of Honden of Infinite Rage. It's a legendary enchantment shrine. At the beginning of your upkeep, Honden of Infinite Rage deals damage to any target equal to the number of shrines you control. 3 copies of Dryad of the Elysian Grove. She's a 2/4. You may play additional land on each of your turns, and lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types. So she also helps us ramp a little bit if we have extra lands in our hand. We can also fix our colors with her as well, so she makes things a little bit more easy to cast. And she's also an enchantment, which we can search for with Idyllic Tutor if we need to. We also get benefit from her when she enters the battlefield with our Nessian Wanderer. So it's a nice package. If we can get a Nessian Wanderer into a Dryad of the Elysian Grove, we're doing okay. And then finally, 1 copy of Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. It's another legendary enchantment shrine. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add X mana of any 1 color, where X is the number of shrines you control. On to the 4-drops, I have 1 copy of Honden of Cleansing Fire, legendary enchantment shrine. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 2 life for each shrine you control. And then 3 copies of Archon of Sun's Grace. He's a 3/4 with flying and lifelink, and it says Pegasus creatures you control have lifelink, and he has Constellation ability. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. And then we're running the full playset of Settle the Wreckage. Instant speed, exile all attacking creatures target player controls. That player may search their library for that many basic land cards, put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle their library. And then our final 4-drop, Honden of Night's Reach, another legendary enchantment shrine. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent discards a card for each shrine you control. And then on the top end, we have 2 copies of Elspeth Conquers Death. It's a enchantment saga. The first chapter says exile target permanent an opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. And then the second chapter says non-creature spells your opponents cast cost 2 more to cast until your next turn. And then the final chapter says return target creature or planeswalker card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on or loyalty counter on it. 1 copy of Honden of Seeing Winds, another legendary enchantment shrine. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card for each shrine you control. 2 copies of the Eldest Reborn, another enchantment saga. The first chapter says each opponent sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker. The second chapter says each opponent discards a card. And the third chapter says put target creature or planeswalker card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. 1 copy of Honden of Life's Web, Legendary Enchantment Shrine. At the beginning of your upkeep, you create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token for each shrine you control. And then what ties the deck together, when I saw this card in the previews for CORESET 21, I was just so excited. It's called Sanctum of All, Legendary Enchantment Shrine, and it says at the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library and or graveyard for a shrine card and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it, and then it says if an ability or of another shrine you control triggers while you control 6 or more shrines, that ability triggers an additional time. So things can get pretty nutty if we have a couple of shrines out there. So the basic idea is we ramp with our Nessian Wanderer and our Dryad of the Elysian Grove. We use our Idyllic Tutors to search for usually a Sanctum of All, because once we get one of these guys down, then we can just search for each one, even if they destroy it. And Idyllic kind of reinforces that if we play this and it gets destroyed, or they all get destroyed for some reason, then we can use the Idyllic Tutor to find the second one. Yeah, so that's basically it. And then we use our Banishing Light as our general removal, Settle the Wreckages for our more aggressive decks. Archon of Sun's Grace later on in the game helps keep us alive until we get to the point where we start taking over the game with our shrines. And then Elspeth can help us get our creatures back if we need to, also Eldest Reborn. And yeah, that's basically the deck. Let's get into the mana base I chose. I'm going to switch to this view just because it's a little bit easier for me. I chose 1 island, 1 swamp, 1 mountain, 1 forest, 3 Hallowed Fountains, 3 Godless Shrines, 3 Sacred Foundries, 4 Temple Gardens, 1 of each of the Triomes, so that gives us an additional 3 mana symbols for each of the all 5 colors, and 2 Fabled Passage, and 1 Gateway Plaza. We're rocking the Song of Creation sleeve, and we have a 3.5 converted mana cost, running 10 creatures, 21 enchantments, and 25 lands. And before we get into the gameplay, like always, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. It's free to you and helps us out so much. Also, feel free to drop a comment on strategy, deck ideas, misplays. I read the comments daily. If you have any friends or family that are into Magic, please share the channel with them. DREMORIAN'S LAIR, for those of you who are watching me on Twitch. DREMORIAN is my handle for the Twitch account. If you're watching me on Twitch, you'll have to search for DREMORIAN'S LAIR on YouTube because I don't have a URL yet. But yeah, and other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Let's hop into some games. So we're going to do regular play. And this is a... I also have another version of this deck. It's a little bit more creature heavy. I'm running full playset of Setessan Champion, no Dryads, full playset of the Archon of Sun's Grace. Still running the Nessian Wanderer, so a little bit of a different deck. Cut some more Settle the Wreckage because I'm trying to be a little bit more aggressive. But this is the one I decided to start off showcasing. Alright, so we got a nice 3-lander here. We do have a Nessian Wanderer, and we have an Idyllic Tutor, and we have a Settle the Wreckage. I think we keep this. We also even have a Honden, a random Honden. So we'll keep this. We want to be able to get to our Nessian, so we'll drop our Zoggoth first, and then we'll drop our Swamp. So Zoggoth. Okay. Nessian. Okay. Fortunately, we have to play the Raugrin tapped, but depending on what our opponent does, we could possibly be using our Banishing Light like that. So we'll Banishing Light that. Opponent is obviously, it's very important to get his colors. Also, this ramps him a little bit. We'll take the Savai. Ooh. So let's even play the Savai. Okay, so let's play Archon. We'll play the Temple Guard tapped. Opponent's running Chromatic Lantern and Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest. Nice. Looks like, how funny is that? We're playing the pretty much the exact same deck. Love it. All right. So we got to go get ours right now too. We don't want them to get ahead of us. Just gonna play the Temple here. He's already got 2 on us though. Here we'll search for an island. Kind of sucks that we're playing a mirror right off the bat. One thing I try to do when the new set comes out is, because I try and put out content daily, not watch any other streamers stuff. So yeah, I'm not running Euro. Be a good idea though. See what I search for library. So I actually think I'm going to Elspeth here. We are still taking 5, 6. So yeah. Well, that feels bad. I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one though that got the idea to do 5-color Honden. Like he was running Chromatic Lantern and shit. I don't know how efficient that is, but apparently, I guess he's just running more. I don't know. So we got a 3-lander here. Some Banishing Lights. I mean, I guess we keep this, right? So let's start off with our Savai. So now we have 2 white, so we're good on that. Looks like we're going to be searching for blue. Okay. I think we play in Datha here because we don't have 2-drop anyways. Sapling migration. Okay, looks like our Settle the Wreckage is going to be coming in handy here. This could be like a go wide type token deck, or it could be like a sacrifice deck. Well, there's a Settle, perfect. The opponent doesn't really have anything too scary on the board, so I think I'll just have this come into play tapped. I don't really want to lose any more life at the moment. I don't... and then next turn we can Banishing Light the Tender Should. However, I can do Nessian, and then Banishing Light, Tender Should. What do we need? I guess let's take the, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Because we're going to be playing the Dryad next turn. Okay. Slime Foot, another Slime. Okay. So let's play the Dryad. Fountain. Let's shock. Let's play the Archon here. No attacks. The next turn we can Banishing Light the Slime Foot. Okay. So, I think honestly, yep. There we go. turn we can play our Sanctum. So they get 4/4, so yeah, we're dead. Feels bad. I cry every time. Alright. So I guess my mistake on that one was I should have held that Settle the Wreckage till much later in the game. But that Tendership Dryad can get out of control, man, so fast. James. Alright. So we got a nice 3-lander here. We have an Idyllic Tutor. We do have a Sanctum of All in our opening hand. We have a Sanctum of Stone's Fang in our opening hand. And a Knight's Reach. We'll keep this. Might be in trouble, though, to a... So what's the move here? Let's play Godless. Tapped. Shock in, feels bad. Mono, traditional mono green. Okay. I guess we do Savai here, tap. He's losing 7 damage. Doesn't account if he has any pump spells. I'm going to search for blue. But we're 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are dead. I mean, let's try the... I'm going to show you the other version of this deck that I built, and let's see if... What we did was all the Hondens and the shrines are exactly the same, but instead of the we're running 4 Idyllic Tutors, 4 Setessan Champions, 4 Archons, and 3 Elspeth, since we have a little bit more creature heavy. Everything else is the same. Let's go ahead and just try this one out, see if this one does any better. Because in my play tests, I was drawing way too many cards. You know, turn 4, 5, 6 with Setessan, and then with the card draw from the Hondens or the shrines, whatever you want to say. Okay, so look at this. Got a 3-lander here. We have a shrine, Honden, whatever, a Nessian, and a Setessan. So we're going to keep this. We'll lead off with our Temple Garden so we can play our Nessian on turn 2. Nice. Got to definitely want to build a deck around this card. He's not running Gigan as his... Okay, so let's go ahead and play the Nessian here to kind of diversify our mana base. This could be a trick too, so let 2 damage go through. Really want to so what's the move here? Let's play Idyllic. Let's look for Banishing Light. No attacks. Pump spell. Could have a disfigure maybe. Taking 8 damage next turn. I think we will be too far ahead, or I'm sorry, too far behind if we don't take out one of these now. Sacred Foundry is nice. Play our Sacred Foundry. Attacks. Opponent could now Blood for Bones. I believe it was 4. Sacrifice another creature. Okay. Here's Blood for Bones. Brings back a preview. No? Three. I'm gonna have to play both. That's the problem. So let's play Hallowed Fountain. Let's play Banishing Light. Take a Sacred Foundry. Attackers. We have to take out this. Let's take the Raugrin. Another, or yeah, but we can't shock ourselves, right? So let's play another Nessian. Let's play a Raugrin tap. That's all we can do. So maybe with all these tap lands, it's essential to run. Okay. Haha, that's awesome. Pretty sure we're already dead. But attacking with everything. We have to block with everything. It's a sick combo though with Nightmare Shadow. At 4. I mean, he's got plenty of mana. Just one blocker. Why? Oh, he could have won there. But we're going off now, so. Not get greedy, right? Eldest Reborn. He should should have. Now we can afford to shock in, right? So let's pay 2, shock in. Okay. No attackers. You control 4 or more demons with different names. Oh, I see. Giving them... Duh. Well, you got to see the deck go off a little bit there, though. That was what we're trying to do. Unfortunately, that's the shitty side of best of 1. I think I'm gonna start maybe switching it up and doing some best of 3 every other episode. Because I promise I'm not a shitty player. Huh. Trying to get back up to Diamond before the end of the season. I just haven't had the opportunity to play as much as I normally do. Alright, so we have a 3-lander here. We have Nessian Wanderer, and we have a Sanctum of Fruitful Harvest early on, which is good. Helps us ramp a little bit. I think we keep this. Go ahead and start off with the... I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll start off with the Hallowed Fountain. Next turn we'll play our Gateway. Okay. Spore Shaman up. Move along the Animator deck. So we'll definitely need to save this for him. So let's play Nessian. Okay. Guess it doesn't matter. So let's play our Indatha because it makes it play tapped indefinitely. Cool. Let's see if we can get some more removal out of his hand. Because, yeah. We'll have that interplay tapped. Phyrexian Obliterator. Unfortunately, I feel like I do need to take out him. If we don't have a land, that's okay. We have an extra land for this drop. Yeah, I don't think I want to go down any lower, right? 3, 5. We are about to. Alright, let's let him hit one more time. Okay. Can I play both? I cannot. Listen. Let's play Fruitful. Play Hallowed. So what? He has Tranquil, right? So it doesn't even really make sense to do anything of us. Phyrexian Obliterator, man, it's nasty. Mouse Pulse. Crazy, man. It's just crazy. I mean, I'm dead, right? Yeah, we're dead. Sucks, man. It's like if your deck isn't even in the play mode, it's like if your deck isn't even top tier competitive, you have no chance. It's crazy. Alright, everyone. I think that's all I've got for you today. I'm going to open up this pack here. End the episode off. Like always, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. It's free to you and helps us out so much. Drop me a comment, talk about strategy, deck ideas, misplays. I read the comments daily, and if you have any friends or family that are into Magic, please share the channels with them. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Alright, got a Witch's Cauldron here. Sacrifice a creature, gain draw a card. Okay. And early on the Standard Bearer. Awesome.